Hi, Ian Dainty here again, and today I want to talk about a service I'm going to introduce that's going to give you a social media marketing strategy if you're not happy with the one you have now or if you don't have one at all. But before we do that, let me go through a little bit of my background. Here's a picture that was taken on Christmas Day, about 2011, about a month ago, with my son Sean and my daughter Bonnie on the right, and of course that's me in the middle. And they're both finished university and well on their way to working, and that's great to see. But I wanted to give you a little background on me. And so, what is my background, and why do you think that, and why do you feel that I should be able to help you? Well, I've had 37 years as a marketer and business owner. I came from a teaching background. I actually have a physical education degree with a mathematics minor, and so I taught for a couple of years, and then I joined IBM. And then I had a company called Albion Computer Systems back in the 80s, and it reached about $22.5 million in annualized revenue over the course of about 12 years that I ran the company, and then I sold it. I also had a company just before the dot-com era, Vectus.ca. I did sell it successfully, though I must admit it wasn't as successful as Albion because we got into it a little late, but we still got some money out of it. And so I've owned two companies, and I understand what it's like to be an owner and to be a marketer, etc. And then I turned to coaching, where I coach salespeople and marketers and business owners and business executives and sales executives and marketing executives, etc. And so I understand the coaching side. I understand what it's like to become a business owner and all the issues you go through to do that. And lately, of course, marketing's changed dramatically in sales, so I've had to learn internet marketing like everybody else has, and social media. And I use it every day now. I love to work. I'm working every day, and I use social media and the internet every day, as I'm sure everybody else does too. And so what I want to do right now is build a social media marketing business to help people out, and I'll go through that in a sec exactly what it is. So what are some of the issues then that you as either a business owner or a marketing exec, whatever, salesperson, entrepreneur you have to face? Well, as a business owner, you can see the question this business owner says is, how do I get new clients? Now that's an issue everybody faces, is how do you get new clients, and is social media really the key? Well, I'm going to show you that it is a real key here for you to proceed. It's not necessarily the only way to do it, but it is an important aspect of your business if you're not doing it right now. So I'm going to talk about, just to review again, the previous 3 videos that I sent, just to give you an idea of what's better, offline or online. Online, of course, being the social media strategy, and how should you do that? Well, let's look at the offline things you should do. Your first and easiest way to get new businesses from your current clients. We talked about that. Either to build upon what you're already doing and extend, or to go to different departments or different projects within that department. Referrals are your second best way to get business. And this is irrespective of any social media at all. I want you to understand that this is the best way to get business. So it's offline, current clients, and referrals. Just make sure you do it right. Direct response mailings are another way that you can still use, and they're still effective. Seminars are still very effective. We talked about trade shows, not a big fan of it unless you do it right, and then user groups too. So the last 4, you have to do it right, but they are effective, and if you do them right, you can get some very good business out of them. Let's look at then what's happening in the world of social media right now and why we might want to look at it. As we mentioned, Google gets a billion plus searches per day. A billion, not a million, but a billion plus searches per day. They get something like X million an hour or a second. So it's important that that Google you're available at Google with your website. We talked about that. We'll look at it again. LinkedIn, which I think is a very effective B2B social media tool, has 140 million active users. Twitter, over 250, 250 million active users. YouTube, 800 million visits per month. And keep in mind that YouTube is owned by Google, and that's why it's important to link the two. Facebook, 750 million active users. I'm sure it'll be a billion by the end of this year. And what you want to keep in mind is through all of this is 80% of prospects now look for you before you look for them. So they find you before you find them, and they do it through all of these different social media tools and sites. And that's a real key. So we talked about your social media strategy. Your first social media strategy has to be your website. It's the most important marketing tool that you've got. And a blog is very important too, that you keep constant content on it and you keep updating it. YouTube is also important, again, because it's owned by Google. But video is also becoming a way to show people what you can do. And a Twitter is important, and a Facebook fan page in B2B. The last two, to me, aren't as important as your website and LinkedIn, but these are all important. And of course, we talked about the 3 factors that are important for your website. First of all, you need to get found, and you can see over 1 billion+ searches, so people are searching for you. You need to keep your visitors on your site when you get them there, and this is important for your website. And you need to get their contact information so that you can keep marketing to them, because most times people aren't ready to buy when they find you. They're just searching. They want to find information, and many times it's not even the actual real financial buyer that's searching. He or she has put somebody else in to see where they could where they can solve the problem they have. And we talked about the 10 website factors. I'm not going to go through that again. But what I want to do is online strategy for social media. We talked about your website, how important that is, the content in your blog, and how you distribute that across the internet through this different social media tools that you have, and how you can and how people then find you. You can do it through videos or audios, white papers, guides, reports, software downloads. These are all very, very important for your online strategy in social media. Email marketing, we're going to talk about it and how important it is. As I mentioned, LinkedIn to me is the second best B2B social media tool you can use, and I've been very successful with LinkedIn. YouTube, again, I've been successful because I use a lot of videos in my presentation, as this is now, and it'll go up on YouTube. Forums and blogs are important, that you look at other people's blogs, and then you go to different forums and you comment and link back to your own website. Twitter, I think, has a very good B2B role, and although it's something you have to keep at, just like all of this stuff you have to keep at. And your Facebook and your Facebook fan page, you should have it as a social media marketer. As a business, you should have one, particularly a fan page. Other things that you can use, pay-per-click. I believe AdWords and I haven't done a lot of Facebook advertising, but AdWords to me is a great way to get people to your website very, very quickly. RSS feeds are good because then when you do print something or show something, it's automatically sent out when people sign up for it. Public relations and are very, very important, as are press releases. PR web is which is press release web, and it's great to send press releases out. Affiliate marketing. So these are like salespeople that can help you market your products and services. And joint ventures are very key to growing too. Partners. A lot of people don't understand that and don't use partners enough to grow. So let's look at why you should have social media. You've looked at all the different tools there are out there, and we've talked about them all, but let's really look at why. Well, it's actually easier and faster than online. Now, except for your current clients and referrals, it really is easier and faster than online. It's a lot faster than direct response. It's a lot faster than doing seminars, a lot faster than user groups or trade shows. So that's a real key to keep in mind. And it's also where your prospect excuse me, and clients are hanging out. Have a drink of water. It's where they are. And used to where to hang out, and that's an old phrase that used to goes back to the 60s with the hippies, but that's where they hang out. It helps you establish credibility and trust with your prospects and clients, and that's important. You need credibility and trust, and we'll go through a little bit how you do that. It's measurable. Okay? Now, everything you do should be measurable, but this is quite easy. With all the analytics they have now, it's quite measurable. You can show the payback and ROI. There's a difference between payback and ROI. I'm not going to go through it. Payback is when you received enough revenue to pay for the marketing and sales efforts that you put in. ROI is the ongoing over a period of time, like 2 years or 5 years, based on the lifetime value of your client. But that's something we can talk about later. And also, it's a fun way to connect. You can talk to people about your own personal stuff, your business stuff. I wouldn't get into the personal things too much, but just as I did, I showed my family. I think it's nice to show people that who you are, and because you're talking to people, remember, you're just not talking to a business, you're talking to people. You should be talking to each individual person one-on-one almost as much as you can. So what's the social media formula? Well, what you want to do is use your social media as a magnet, go through your sales funnel, and then you end up closing business out of it. And here's what it looks like. So you attract leads as they go through your sales funnel, you convert to sales. So you get attention, and then you capture leads through an opt-in form and those things that I would help you with. You establish credibility by putting content up on the web and what you do, and that makes you bond with the prospect. And then you start creating desire, and then you have a call to action. Now, notice you don't just get them and put up a sales page right away or say, hey, buy from me. You've got to show them, create some credibility and trust. And that's very, very key, particularly initially the credibility as you go through it. However, there's a whole bunch of issues you have to face right now that are important that we look at. The economy. Every time you turn on the news, the economy's in there, and it doesn't look good. It looks like Greece, as of today, is going to default in the next month or two, people are predicting. And that could have repercussions throughout the whole global economy. You've got to run your business. Okay, that's important. You got to manage your people in time. And I understand these things because I've had 2 businesses, and I'm also have this business. So I understand the issues that you run through in running your business, managing people in time. Then you have client issues if things go wrong, and they do go wrong, believe me. And as you've been in business, you know that. And you're always constantly have to get new clients. So that's an issue you got to run into. How do you do marketing sales? How do you get new clients? Although I did talk to somebody recently who wasn't interested in getting new clients, so they're not interested in marketing and sales, but because they only have a small client base, they said, and I hope that client base doesn't go away because they're going to go away soon. And then, of course, you've always got competition. And how do you work against that, and how do you make sure that you're beating out your competition? And that's what I want to talk to you, why social media is so important for you to do. So what is your social media marketing strategy? Well, I hope this isn't it. Put your head in the sand and hope it'll go away, and then things will get better. As you know, as a business person, as a marketer, as a salesperson, as an executive, you can't do that. You've got to find a way to use social media to your benefit. So what is your social media strategy? Well, you have 3 options when it comes to social media. You can do nothing, obviously, and that's not going to help you much or help you at all. And as I said, with your head in the sand, you can do it yourself, or you can hire somebody to do it for you. Now, that gets more expensive. I'm going to get into the cost of that in a sec. Or you can farm it out to an agency like I have, or another agency. I would hope it would be me, but there are your 3 options right now. And, of course, the first one is hopefully you're not going to do that, because otherwise you're going to go belly up in your business. And your second one's going to be more expensive than farming it out. So let's look at some of the ideas you have to consider. And the thing is, do you really want to grow? And to keep in mind that marketing has to be ongoing and consistent. So you've got to keep doing it if you want to grow. And it's offline and online. We talked about that. And 80% of companies find you now before you find them. And as I mentioned, it's ongoing, and so they find you. And it's an investment. Marketing's an investment, but your whole company is an investment. And as you know, you have to make an investment to do anything. I mean, even to win the lottery, you got to buy a ticket, as you know. So that's an investment. You can't grow unless you invest. You can't grow unless you invest time, money, resources, and people, whatever. You need to make an investment to grow. So you've got to decide whether you want to grow or not, or whether you're just happy being what you want to do. And what I want to talk to you about is an extraordinary opportunity I'm going to give you in a few minutes about how you can grow, and the service I want to offer you. So let me talk about then the social media marketing service that I'm going to announce today, and what's in it for you, and what you can get out of it, and why it's important that you do this. Okay? Who is it not for? Well, it's not for somebody who doesn't want to grow. As I mentioned, I talked to somebody the other day who said that they don't really want to grow. They don't want marketing sales because they're happy with the small little client base they have. And as I said to them, well, I hope none of those clients go away, or things could get rough. And with this economy, anything could happen. But if you're in that boat, then obviously this isn't for you. If you don't believe in sales and marketing, which this company does, you think that people are just going to beat a path to your door because you opened up. You see businesses folding all the time because they do that, especially if you just take a walk around any neighborhood. So you better believe in sales and marketing if you want to grow. If you're just an independent contractor, you probably don't want to grow either. If you decide, even though you think you have a business, but I really don't. I've hit my range of the amount of money I make, and I'm quite happy doing that, and you rely on other people, then this isn't for you either. Maybe you want to do it yourself. And, of course, if that's what you want to do, then, of course, this isn't going to be for you either. So it's something that you've got to consider if you want to spend all of that time, and I'm going to show you what it takes to do that. Or if you're ready to retire, I suppose it's probably not for you either, because you're winding down, and maybe you're selling your business, or maybe you just decided, hey, I'm not going to be bothered with doing all this because I want to retire. But it's not fair to your company if it's quite a while to retire, a year or two. Anyway, that's who it's not for. So who is it for then? Well, if you really want to grow, then this is definitely for you. This service is definitely for you. You want to learn everything, realize that others are more skilled than you are at marketing. So you don't want to do it yourself particularly, because there are other people that are skilled. I've spent 37 years learning sales and marketing, got a great background, and that background has really helped me with social media, because it helps me understand what people want and people need to know, and through the content that you offer them. Or perhaps you just need some augmentation in your current sales and marketing through some social media marketing, and I could help you do that too. You always have to keep in mind that social media is changing all the time, which means marketing is changing all the time too. I mean, Google and Facebook just announced new ways to do business with them. So you have to keep that in, and you have to understand that if you don't want to keep doing this, which I do and the partners I have do, then it's going to be difficult for you to do it. So you keep understanding that, and it's for you. And you also have to be willing to invest. You have to understand, as I mentioned before, an investment. Now, most people say, and I go along with this, that you should invest 20% of your revenue in sales and marketing. Microsoft and IBM do that, and they invest an awful lot of money in sales and marketing. Now, even if you just invest 10, 12%, then you still have to invest. So if you're making $100,000 a year, you should be investing at least $10,000 of that in marketing, probably closer to 15% or $15,000, so that you can keep growing. Although if you don't want to keep growing, then of course that's a different story. Okay, so this social media marketing service, why would you want to do it for me? Why would you say, Dainty, why should we pick you? Well, let me just tell you something. I really enjoy helping people grow. As I say, I started out as a teacher. When I had my own businesses, I really enjoyed helping people grow and working with them. I always met with my direct reports once a week. We always had at least an hour meeting about what they did last week, what they're going to do next week, and is there anything I can do to help them. I put them on courses so that they could grow. I really enjoy helping people grow, and so that's one reason you should help me, because I've done it before. I've done it with an awful lot of people. I've trained thousands of salespeople and marketers and executives and business owners on how to grow and how to grow their business, and I just like doing that. I've just worked out some deals with about 3 or 4 partners that'll help me. Now, I'm not a technical person. I'm a sales and marketing guy, as I mentioned. I do know some technical things, but when it comes to doing some real technical issues, then I need people to help me, just like you need people to help you in your business. So I've worked together with 3 partners right now. I'm looking at a 4th to help me with some of the technical issues that are involved in setting up a website or setting up a Facebook page and all of that. So I want to give you the best service I can. And I also want to give back to society as I grow. I don't believe in retirement, really. I think we all like to settle down and do something as we grow older. But I really like working. I want to give back, and I want to matter. If you saw my video just at Christmas time, it was, the 3 things you want to do in life. Did I live? Did I love? And did I matter? And so I want to matter, and I want to keep giving back as long as I can, and that's important to me. So there's 3 reasons why you should go with me, is because I know I can help you, because I enjoy helping you, and I've done it before, and I know I can keep helping you again. So what are you going to get from this marketing service that I am going to set up for you? Well, the first thing you're going to get is a comprehensive needs analysis. We're going to sit down together, and I'm not going to go through everything you get. If you're interested in going through that, want it, then I can send you it. But we're going to go through a comprehensive needs analysis of what you need. And I'm going to set up templates and guides for you. We're going to put up a WordPress blog. I'm going to define all the terms that you need. I'm going to install the necessary plugins and widgets. All the templates, as I mentioned, coaching on developing white papers, guides, reviews, set you up for Aweber, join other content sites, develop your LinkedIn profile so you get found. I'm going to go through that in a bit. I'm going to write content for you each week, of 400 to about 700 words each week, and we're going to put that on your website and distribute it through different other mediums. We're going to put analytics on your site so that we can monitor everything. And I'm going to give you reporting every month on what we're doing and where you're going, etc. Although I'm going to announce something that we're going to talk a lot more than that. And we're going to set up accounts for you on a WordPress blog. If you don't have a blog, WordPress is great because of all the things you can add to it. And it's very simple to use, and it's still the best word. And Google likes it. We're going to set you up with a LinkedIn account so that and do it properly. As I've showed you before in my LinkedIn account, you've got to get found. You've got to set yourself up for the right keywords, as you do in your website. Going to set up a Twitter account for you, and a YouTube account, and a Facebook fan page. So we're going to go through all of this so you get found. I'm also going to set up a Bitly account and other accounts that are needed. This takes a lot of work, but it's something I want to offer you, and it's something I'm really keen on. As I said, I'd like to help you grow. So what is all of this going to cost you? Well, let's look at it if you needed to do it. It would take you at least a year, and don't forget, I've been at it 37 years. I've got a real background on marketing and sales, but it would take you a year, and that would probably cost you $100K if that's what you're earning in a year, and I'm sure you're earning somewhere in that range, give or take 10 or 20%. And if you want to spend that time or give up a year, then you can do that. If we did it for you, there's about 15 hours a month to do it, so that's about $1,500 at minimum $100 an hour. Now, you should be making $100 an hour, excuse me, right now. If you hire somebody, you're going to have to pay them at least $2,000 monthly, and that's at a very, very minimum. And that's from somebody out of school who probably doesn't have the skills, so they've got to spend a year learning this. So you're going to waste all of that money. So your yearly total could be well over $100,000 if you did it yourself, all right? So that's something you've got to look at. Do you want to do it yourself? Look at all the time and money and energy that you're going to spend and waste, because it keeps changing. So what would your investment be normally if you set up? Well, it's going to take about 3 days to set it up, and normally I would charge $3,000 for that. I'm not going to charge even close to that. In fact, I'm not even going to charge a setup fee, so you're going to get that for free. Your content and marketing would be 15 hours, as I mentioned earlier. About 15 hours a month at $100 an hour is $1,500 if you paid somebody on a monthly basis or on a time and materials basis. Not even going to cost you close to that. Plus, I'm going to give you a coaching bonus. We're going to meet as a group 1 time a week on a question and answer, and that would cost you. That's what I charge. I charge $1,000 a month to coach people. So the total on that is well over $3,000. It's closer to over $5,000, just as your one-time fee, and for monthly, it's over $2,500. So you can see the different costs that you would incur if I did this on a just did each one of them. But I want to help you out, as I mentioned. I really want to help people grow. So let's look at what you're going to get for the marketing service that I'm announcing today. What is your investment going to be today? Well, first of all, I want you to understand that there's no setup fee, okay? Because it takes a lot of work. It's going to take 3 or 4 days to set these things up with your blog and get everything going. Normally, I would charge $950 a month for this service. But today, until January 31st, I'm only going to charge $650 per month. Okay, so you've got till January 31st to do this. You're going to save over, for argument's sake, we'll be very conservative, over $100,000 a year in year one alone. And from the fees I set up, the $300 is going to be about $1,850 a month, and everything else we talked about, or $22,000 a year by going with me. Okay? And not only that, I'm going to give you some bonuses. I'm going to set up your Facebook fan page, which should take about a couple of days to do or more, because the Facebook fan page is quite detailed. So, and that would cost about $2,500 to do. The weekly coaching would be $12,000 a year or $1,000 a month, and you're going to get that thrown in. I'm also going to throw in the book that I've written, The Leadership Guide to Great Marketing. And, of course, as a book, it's only going to cost $47. But I'd like to say it's priceless because it does give you a lot of material that will help you grow your business. And so you're looking at $15,000 in bonuses before you even do anything. Okay? And that's going to be a lot less than you're going to pay even for the year if you look at $650 a year. And I also want to tell you about my guarantee. Don't forget, you're getting all of this with no setup fees, which normally would cost quite a bit. And the guarantee is you can quit at any time for any reason. So even after the first month, and I put in all of this effort, if you say, Ian, I don't like this anymore, I'm going to quit, then you've got everything set up for you. I don't believe you're going to do that, but that's my guarantee. So if you quit after the first month, then you still have everything there to run yourself if you feel you want to do it. And I don't believe anybody's out there wanting me to do that. I'm not going to charge you for it. I'm just going to set it up for you, and we expect to be together for at least a year before we move on. Okay? So that's my guarantee. You can quit at any time, no questions asked, for any reason, whatever that is, and we both move forward. So what's the next step? Well, I want you to contact me at either my email address or my phone number here, and they're both listed below, about our next step, where we will set up a time to do the analysis that we're going to do, an in-depth analysis of your business and what you want to look for. And there's another thing that you're going to get for free. That's going to take a few hours to do anyway, as we go through the questionnaire, at least 2 or 3 hours that you're going to get again for this. So for $650 a month until January 31st, which is only a few days away, 6 days away, I want you to, including today, I want you to sign up today, give me a call, contact me at these numbers, and we will get started. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to working with you. And if you have any questions or anything, please contact me right away. Thanks a lot. I look forward to talking to you.